Hi everyone, welcome to your weekly edition of Show Me How It's Done. My name is Lauren Urbonis and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Now today I would like to show you a really fun pop-up card. It is called a half hexagonal pop-up card. And I have to thank another demonstrator known as Iced Images for the measurements on how to do this type of card. I'm not sure where I saw this card first, but they did it years ago with a different assortment of products. So today I wanted to recreate this fold with the Wildflower Birthday Suite. So if you have your January to April mini catalog handy and you're looking on page 42 and 43, you can find the entire suite of products here. I just recently finished doing a mega class with this suite where we did 10 projects, all using the designer series paper, embellishments, accessories, and bundle to complete our projects. Today we're mainly focusing on the designer series paper, so I know it's not as clear than if I had some left, but unfortunately all that I have to offer you is scraps of my package. So the Wildflower Birthday designer series paper is what I'm focusing on, and I'm using this piece here in the top left. If you notice, it's not a typical designer series paper. Let me see if I can raise it up a little to show you. It actually has a combination of different sections. So the ones on the top here we used for tags, and then these little pieces you chop apart and you can actually use them either for cards, for scrapbooking, or like I'm doing as a focal piece for your project. So the piece that I'm talking about from that set is this great little cake. I didn't have to do any stamping, embossing, die cutting, anything to get this image. It's all one flat layer, but that's what I wanted to build my card around today. So I did have to modify their measurements slightly just to fit my card, but the gist is a half hexagonal pop-up card, and I'm very excited to show you how to make this because it is actually very, very simple. So I have the birthday celebration bundle out for you. I didn't do really any featured sentiment on here beyond a little Make-A-Wish and a banner. That is completely optional. You can use anything else that you own as well to finish the card, or you can leave it white, but it's basically so you have something on the back to write a little note on and to pass this on to somebody else. But I figured, while I have you, I might as well show you how easy this bundle is to use. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to walk you through what you need to craft with me today. I have put all the measurements in the description on this video, so if you feel the need, you can just hit that pause button and cut all of your pieces ahead of time. Then you can come back and put them together with me. But believe me, this card looks a lot more intricate than it actually is. It's pretty easy. So you're going to start with cutting yourself 2 pieces of Pool Party. These are going to be for our panel here, and instead of one that you might see, we're gluing 2 of them together. So we need 2. Those are going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to separate them and make a couple piles. So for the back, we need a piece of white that we're going to stamp on and also do any sort of writing for your message that you want. This piece is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Those will layer up together. Let me just confirm. I said this was 4 by 5 1/2, I'm hoping. So 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Then you're cutting yourself a gold panel for the front. This is also going to be 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Because we had to center it around this piece, which actually requires no measurement, you simply cut it out of that designer series paper, but in the end, it does end up measuring about 3 1/2 by 5. So that's what I built my measurements around. Okay, I'm going to assemble these 3 pieces together and these 2, and then we're going to set them aside and do cutting for our panel and our decoration here in the front, but I just found it easier to have this available. So bear with me a moment. I'm going to turn my gold piece over and put dimensionals on the back, because who doesn't love a little bit of pop? So putting those up on dimensionals will give us that extra 3D effect that you're kind of already getting out of this card. This is not a typical size card, so I will warn you it won't fit in like an A2 envelope, but if you have any of those 6x6 envelopes or clear 6x6 sleeves, then they can easily be used for this project. Okay, gold. Now for the cake piece, this one you are putting on flat, so if you've got any seal or glue, you can use that, or you can use your double-sided tape. Right in the center here. Nice, beautiful gold border all the way around. Okay, you can set that one aside. Bring in this guy. If you want to do your stamping, go ahead. I'm going to risk it, and I'll do that stamping later if I decide I'd like it. I did use a Pool Party ink, if you're wondering what I did, but currently I am also trying to film for that mega class, that 10 project class, and I have all my stamps mounted but being used with the Blueberry Bushel ink for those projects, so I'm gonna just leave that at the moment. Okay, there we go. There's that guy. Maybe my banner's free. I think it's the other sentiment that is dirty. Okay, here's my banner. We'll do that and hope I don't make a mistake. Go. Try to touch your banner just to 2 white sections, corner to corner, and then you can add the Make-A-Wish if you want later. All right, putting that to the front of our workspace once again, we need to cut a long strip of cardstock and do quite a bit of scoring. So let's grab all of those measurements for you. This strip needs to be 2 inches wide by 11 inches long. Okay. And then we're going to do a bunch of scoring together. Okay, so hopefully you can see this first line here. That is at 1.5, 2.5, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5, 9.5. I'll go over those one more time, but they are also listed in the description, so you could hit pause and just grab them again. But 1.5, 2.5, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5, 9.5. I'm going to leave this out for the moment. We're going to do quite a bit of cutting of gold foil and then a different designer series paper, and I just want to rest them in all the sections. So the important thing to note is these 2 on the end, they don't get any decorating. They're going to be tucked in behind and help us to make this fold. So what you need is 2 panels for these 2 small sections. So we're going to start with gold. These 2 pieces are going to be 7/8 by 1 3/4. We're going to turn those over and pop them up on dimensionals. 7/8 by 1 3/4. Don't worry about the fact that you haven't done your score lines yet. We're just going to get these in place so they don't run away. Or, I mean, your fold lines. Just don't want this to go anywhere, okay? So there's your gold for those 2. We need 3 more gold now. These are all going to be the same size. They're going to be a nice little square that's 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And again, dimensionals on the backs of those. I'm going to use some of these little pieces. Don't ever throw these edge pieces away from your dimensionals, They're all still sticky. They'll still work for you. One, two, and three. So this gold foil is not technically part of the suite. It's one of the things that I added to embellish the suite because there is a lot of gold accent in the paper, and I really love that. I think it makes your projects kind of come alive a little bit. There we go. Last one. Okay, we have our gold. Now you need designer paper. So you can choose whichever one you want. I chose kind of the bluish background with the green on the back. And of course, you can use the back side of any of these, but I didn't want to. I liked what they look like. So I've got two side pieces going to be layered on these two side golds. They are going to be 3/4 of an inch by 1/2 inch. And we're putting that flat with tape or seal or glue. They do not get popped up on dimensionals. I guess you could, it's up to you, but I didn't. Didn't need it coming out more, and I really wanted to showcase that gold a little bit. Three pieces of designer paper are going to be perfect squares. They'll be 1.5 by 1.5. Paper because there's no for sure direction. Just put it on whichever way feels the best. Least. Right here. Okay, so I'm using tape. So I'm going to put tape on my two panels here. You do not have to though if you are using seal or glue. Please just wait a moment till I kind of show you what you need to do. But the tape, it's easy to put on while my project is flat. I'm actually going to put tape not only on the front, but on the back of that section too. And I know it sounds weird, but there's a reason. Don't worry, we're getting there. Okay, next you need a bone folder, okay? We're going to fold all of our pieces in the same direction. So one at a time, just folding them in towards the center of the project. That one and that one. So that in the end, you have something that looks like a half moon or a half sea or a half hexagon, okay? So it doesn't really matter at this point whether you start with the front piece or the back piece. Whatever works for you is fine. I'm going to start with the front just because if I make a mistake, it's very easy to fix, I think, from this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my right or left side and take the adhesive off the back here. And I've taken it off the side that does not have the other embellishments. I should have clarified that. This is the back of my cupcake, and I'm going to rest this right in the bottom right-hand side of my panel. Okay, so far so good. This next piece, we're going to take the backing off once again. And this won't lie flat, nice on your table. You're just going to kind of have to hold it up. But in that crease, fold it over and tuck it in once again. So this is kind of what our card looks like at the moment. It's fun, it's got its shape. But in order to get it to stand and be really strong and sturdy, we're going to bring in that second piece of of cardstock, and we're going to attach these together. So that's why you need adhesive still on these, and we're actually going to add a little bit more adhesive to this other section so that it is also attached. I apologize, I know it's hard to view this while it's upright. There we go. Okay, all of that can come off. The panels are the exact same size, so you should be able to just lay this one right on top. And hopefully your card is a little sturdier now that that's been added. There you go. Oh, I think I put my piece on upside down. Oops, I have banners coming up. Oh well, I will make use of that. Probably put some banners up in this corner too. We'll make it look intentional. There we go. Just like that. Looks funky enough to me. All right, and then like you saw, it can lay flat, so it can go in a little sleeve or an envelope, but then when your recipient receives it, they can just pop this out and it's ready to go. There you go. So I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Please consider liking the video and maybe subscribing to my channel. I post a new tutorial every Tuesday at noon. If you are in Canada and you need a demonstrator, my website is listed at the bottom of the page. You can shop online or you can message me and I'm happy to help you with anything you need. And maybe check out my Facebook page, Lauren Scraplot, because there's some great events that you can sign up for and receive kits for anywhere in Canada. I will see you guys next week for another edition of Show Me How It's Done. Bye.